Today I was thinking we would work a little bit towards, a little bit more emphasis on backward bends. So we'll work our way to Camel and Bridge, the wheel pose, and we'll work our way up to those. So good things to do: a Cobra, upward facing dog. They open up, prepare us for Camel, and the other back bends. Also, raised pigeon is good. What else? Opening up the front, bringing the arms behind you, opening up like this, that kind of thing is really good to prepare yourself, and also stretching out the quads. Start off seated, close the eyes, just resting the hands on the legs. And then bring all your focus to the breath. Start taking deeper breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, long, slow, deep breaths. You can feel the air passing through the throat as you inhale and exhale. Each inhale we're trying to go a little deeper, a little longer with the breath. Each exhale making it just as long as the inhale. Focusing on the breath helps to recenter. Stops you being less distracted. Stops you being distracted. Stops you being more distracted, should I say. Alternate nostril breathing. We take the right hand and we bring the thumb on one side of the nose and the ring finger on the other side of the nose. I'm just going to pin my video. I don't think I've done that yet. So with alternate nostril, you're going to close the right nostril, inhale through the left side, and then you close the left nostril, exhale right. Inhale left, and then exhale right side. Inhale right side, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. So just continue at your pace, and remember we're switching from one side to the other side at the top of the inhales. Just keep going. So sometimes my tendency is to be able to breathe more easily through the right nostril most of the time, but sometimes it's the other side, and today is really balanced, which is nice. So that's what we're trying to get, is a balance as you're breathing in and out through one side of the nostril. And as you balance the breath, you can balance the mind and the body. A couple more rounds. And then bring both hands down. Resting the hands, the wrists on the knees, and just work on the shoulders. Bring one shoulder forward, up, back and down, just rotating there. Trying to loosen up a little bit. And then the other side. If you have any shoulder issues, I suggest you avoid the wheel pose. Puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders. You need open shoulders for the wheel pose. So just take care of yourselves. Loosen up, whatever feels good. Bring up the right arm. Extend it forward, palm parallel to the ground. Retract the shoulder back. Pull that arm in towards you, pulling above the elbow. Finding a gentle stretch. Inhale as you get taller. Exhale as you pull that arm in a little closer. We're going deeper on the exhales into that stretch. Not that we're not stretching with an inhale, but we're just sort of holding still on the inhale, and then we deepen on the exhale. And then we switch, extending the other arm forward, shoulder retracted, and then we pull that arm in towards us, finding a gentle stretch, a fairly easy stretch to begin with. Inhale, getting a little taller. Exhale, you're pulling the arm in a little closer. Gradually going deeper and deeper. Using that breath. Release. Interlace the fingers. We extend the arms forward. Again, we're retracting the shoulders back, so we're getting length in the back. Natural curve of the lower back. And then we start bringing the arms up, framing the face. If it bothers the shoulders, just bring the arms lower. If the shoulders are happy, you can try and extend the arms towards the ceiling. Trying to pull the shoulder blades down a little bit as you reach up. And then we interlace the hands behind us, and you're going to interlace the other way, so it feels weird crossing the fingers in the other way. We pull the shoulders down, shoulder blades together, and we hinge. And then we tuck the chin and we start bringing the arms up. Every so often, just back off a little bit and try and relax those shoulders. And then see if the arms will go up a little higher. Backing off slightly, trying to get space, and then see if that gives you a little bit more room. And then we slowly come back up, and we work on the shoulders again. And we just shake the hands out. A little bit of hand work here. Bring the thumb into the palm of the hand and clasp the thumb. And then you can either rest the inside of the wrist on the knees, or we can extend the arms to the side. I'm extending them to the side just so you can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to turn the knuckles down and back up. If you do any wrist work, wrist exercises, I think this is the best one to do. And you're just going to release a little bit of tension there. If you have tendinitis in the wrist, this may help. So I've heard. Don't take my word for it. And then we just shake out. We come onto our knees, bringing the toes together, knees apart. We take the hands between the legs, fingers pointing towards the toes, little finger in contact, fingers spread a lot. And we're just bringing the whole palm of the hand onto the ground. Trying to get a bit of a wrist stretch and a bit of a forearm stretch. And if it's too much of a stretch, sit bones come up. If you want more stretch, sit bones go down. If you're not feeling much, just try playing around, moving the hands further away or closer in. See if that makes a bit of a difference. This is a good stretch for me. I do this quite a lot, especially before I do any hand balances like the crow pose, handstands. Even helps to do this a little bit before downward facing dog. Keep the fingers on the mat and lift the heel of the hand up, the palm up. So we're stretching out the fingers now. Something we don't do very often, but it's almost like you're bringing the fingers alive. You can feel that energy flowing through the fingers. And then we release. We shake the hands out. We come high up on the knees. We take the right leg over to the side. Let's go into gate pose. Activating that straight leg, sliding that right hand down the leg. Inhaling, you're reaching up with that other arm. Reach up as much as you possibly can before you come into that side stretch. You're looking up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Inhale, we come up. We switch over to the other side, extending the leg over to the side, lining the foot up with the hips. Reach up with the other arm. It's going to be your right arm. I'm doing the mirror image. And then we start going deeper. We're sliding that left hand down the leg, bringing the top arm closer and closer towards the head. And breathe on this side. Inhale, we come back up. Come onto your back. A little bit of core work. On your back, pull the feet in, feet are on the ground, and we're just going to bring the knees in and back down to the ground. We'll do this a few times. You guys know I like to do this one. Nice, easy method of building up the core strength. If you've got your hands on the belly, you can feel those muscles working, keeping the back nice and low. And you don't have to go fast on this one. If you have any back issues, this is a good one to do. And you can try doing this, straightening one leg as you bend the opposite knee. Alternately, keeping the legs pretty low. Got to work a little bit harder on this one to keep the back nice and low. If any of these bother the lower back, just revert to this first one where we're pulling the knees in, keeping the knees nicely bent. If your shoulders are okay, you can add, as you straighten one leg and bend the opposite knee, you can add the arms. So as one knee comes in, the opposite arm is going over the head, so synchronizing the movement of the arms and the hands, the arms and the legs. You're breathing, you're not holding the breath. And then we bring the feet down, we become still for a breath or two. We take the feet wider apart, and then we just take the knees over from side to side. And this is going to help to warm the spine up. Get a little bit of more mobility, and also it's going to work the obliques a little bit. This is a nice one to do. Maybe taking the knees a little bit lower each time you go down to the side. Knees back to center. And on an inhale, push the lower back into the ground and lift those hips up. And on the exhale, slowly come down and momentarily relax. Inhale up. Exhale down. Do this a few more times. Inhaling as you come up, exhale as you go down. And before you come up, you're really pushing the lower back into the ground just before you come up. So it's working the core, you're working the glutes, you're working the legs. Become still. Bring the back down. Bring the outer of the right foot onto the left leg. Take hold of the back of the left leg. Pulling the legs in nice and close, tailbone close to the ground. Rock from side to side. Recline pigeon. And then just lean a little bit more over to the left. So if your right leg is the closest leg, lean over towards the left a little bit. And just very gently rock. We're just trying to find a little bit of a tightness in the lower back just to loosen that up and stretch that out. And at the same time it gives you more stretch on the outside of the opposite hip. And then we switch out of the other foot onto the right leg, pulling the legs in. Foot close to you is active, heel pushed out, toes pulled in. Pulling the legs in pretty close. I'm using quite a lot of arm strength here, and then just rocking side to side. And then we're going to lean more over to the right side here. And just note what effect it has when you lean over. Does it feel more? You like it? Would you rather just be centered? It's up to you. And then release. Pull both knees in, hold onto the back of the legs, lift the head up, rock yourselves into boat. Balancing on the sit bones. So first of all, you can just hold onto the back of the legs, or you can bring the arms either side, whatever feels good. Again, if you have any back issues, keep hold of the legs. Legs straighter, legs higher means you've got to work harder to get that back neutral. So you really got to work to keep the back neutral. I'm trying to bring my hips forward. Maybe you're shaking just a little bit. That's good. It means you're working. And you're breathing. You're not holding the breath. We pull the feet in. We come onto our hands and knees. We do cat-cow a few times. Cat-cow, this helps us prepare for backward bends. When you're in cow pose, belly down, head up, let's hold it like this. You're opening. This is a backward bend, but this time we're going to add a little bit of strengthening. So you're going to engage the belly. You're going to keep the hands and knees glued to the mat, but you're pulling them towards each other. So really pull those hands towards the knees. See what effect that has. And breathe. Keep pulling the hands in. And then soften. Thread the needle. Take the right arm behind the left arm. You're resting on the right arm on the right side of the face. And what you could try here, which I do sometimes, so I'm doing thread the needle, but I've got the right arm threaded behind the left arm. So I'm going to take that left leg and see if I can grab the toes with my fingers and trying to straighten the leg. So you can get a little bit more of a leverage by pulling those toes, getting it a bit of a deeper stretch. It might not work for you, but you can try it. And then we switch over to the other side. Thread the needle on the other side. Let me just switch here. Threading the left arm behind the right arm. So we're pushing that right hand into the ground, elbow towards the ceiling. You're reaching with that bottom arm towards the side of the room. And then if you want to add the leg, you can see if you can take hold of the toes with that left hand, and it's a little bit like a tug of war here. You're breathing. If you can't do that, no worries. It's a challenge for a few people. Come on to the forearms. Actually, let's do Sphinx. So you are on the forearms, elbows underneath the shoulders. Make fists with the hands. You're going to tuck those toes and bring those hips up. You're looking directly at the ground. You're breathing. You're trying to get the whole body nice and neutral. Hips are not too low, not too high. And you hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You come all the way down. Relax for a breath or two. Head is supported on the hands or the mat. And then we start bringing the right leg up as high as you can and down. Slowly bringing the leg up and down. Then we hold the leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other leg up and down, slow. Bring it as pretty high if you can. And then we keep that leg raised for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we lower the leg. We're back into Sphinx. We walk the knees underneath the hips. Elbows no wider than shoulders. Tuck the toes, dolphin. Hips up and back. Trying to get more of a straight line from the elbows through the shoulders to the hips. Knees can be bent or straight. Just trying to keep the back nice and neutral. Breathing. Knees down, hands under the shoulders. Downward facing dog. Feet together. Feet closer, walk the dog, bending one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, relaxing the head. Bend the knees. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, back into mountain. Half salutes. Couple. Then we'll do Sun Salutation A. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale into mountain. Okay, let me just set up here with the mat. Let me move the mat around. So we're going to do Sun Salutation A. We come to the front of the mat. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Look up, add a little bit more of a backward bend. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We come into plank. We bring the knees down, the chin chest forward and down, elbows in, inhaling into cobra or up dog. But remember to bring those shoulders down. Exhaling into down dog. We hold down dog 2 or 3 breaths. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands, inhaling halfway up, exhale folding forward, inhale we come all the way up, exhale back into mountain, Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. Some people like to jump back into plank. I'm just going to walk back. Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Up dog, arms are straight, hips are off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. Try this. Bring the heels over the toes. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Elbows in, so the back is rounded, the chin is tucked. And then you come into upward facing dog. And then you do the reverse, exhaling into down dog. Inhale into up dog. Exhale, down dog. You engage in the core as you transition. One more. High up on the heels, the toes, shoulders over the wrists. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold downward facing dog a breath or two. We look forward. You jump or walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, relaxing the head. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale into mountains. So warrior one, warrior two. This time we're going to start off in chair. Inhale, bending the knees, reaching the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. Get yourself into plank. Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground. Keep those elbows in. Inhaling into up dog or cobra. Exhaling down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Readjusting the back foot. We come into warrior one and we can add a bit of a back bend again. And then we exhale into warrior two. Actually, let's do Trikanasana. We haven't done that for a while. Warrior two, we straighten the front leg. So both legs are straight. You're going to reach towards the front of the mat as much as you can. You bring that hand down, you bring the other arm up. So you're stacking the arms, you're breathing. We come back into warrior two. You do a reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga, inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg up, extended down dog. Exhale, you sweep that foot through. Warrior one. Bit of a back bend, take a breath or two. Exhale, warrior two. Maybe go a little deeper into warrior two, relaxing the shoulders, keeping that knee nice and lined up. None of this. You don't want that knee to start coming inward. We straighten the front leg. Both legs are straight. You reach over that front leg as much as you can, and then you come into Trikanasana, triangle pose. Both legs active. Breathe. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Back into plank. Couple of breaths in plank. Bringing the whole body forward from plank. Keeping the inside of the elbows towards the front of the mat. Can you hold chaturanga? If not, come all the way down. Inhaling into up dog or cobra. Looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Pigeon. Bring the right knee. I'll do the mirror image. Right leg is up. Bring the right knee towards the right wrist. Raised pigeon. More back bending. Keeping the body nice and centered, do not lean over from one side to the other side. What I like to do here, as you know, is I like to grab the mat behind me with my toes and try and walk that foot back a little bit. Then I can get a little closer to the ground. Maybe that works for you, maybe not. If we hold raised pigeon, you're going to get the back bend. Try and glue the fingers or the hands to the mat and pull towards you. So I'm grabbing and pulling so I can get a little bit more opening of the upper front body. Relax in extended pigeon for 2 or 3 breaths. Come back up into raised pigeon. Downward facing dog, walk the dog. Bring the other leg up, it'll be your left leg. And then pigeon on the other side. You go into pigeon nice and easily. Respect the knee. I like to have the knee close, more over to the right side of the hip, but some people prefer it centered. If you have any groin stretches, get it more centered. Opening up, keeping raised pigeon. Maybe start walking that foot, that back foot, further back. Hold raised pigeon, a couple more breaths. And again, I'm gluing my fingers to the mat and pulling, trying to get a little bit more traction. And then we come into extended pigeon. Relax. And then we come back up. So in backward bends, we're trying to open the whole front body, front of the legs, front of the chest. So what is good, what helps us get there are lunges. I think lunges are great. So let's come into a lunge. Bring the right foot forward. So in the lunge, you're opening the front of that back leg. And like what we've been doing in other poses, we're gluing the front foot towards the mat, the back knee, and we're pulling in towards each other. And that gives you a little bit of extra stretch. So you're getting a little bit of isometric work as well. If the arms come up, you're going to feel a deeper stretch. And you could lean backward as well on this one. And I feel more of a stretch all the way down from the top of the hip through to the front of the thigh, all the way this area here. This is going to stretch out the psoas. And it's also nice to transition into a hamstring stretch. So bring the fingers to the mat, walk that front foot forward an inch or two, and on an exhale extend the leg. We're going to go back and forth into the lunge and then into the extension. So just do this 2 or 3 times. And then we hold the leg extended and we walk the fingers closer. So ideally the fingers are touching the mat. If you can't touch there, you can have the hands on blocks. And eventually you're going to be able to straighten that leg. And you're getting a good stretch. I feel it. Actually, I feel quite a bit in the hip, the glutes. I'm pretty tight there. We switch. We bring the hands either side of the front foot. We come into plank. Try chaturanga if you can. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale down dog. And then we bring the other foot forward. It's probably going to be your left foot. Hands onto the knee. We're pulling the front foot towards the knee. And then we bring the arms up. We look up. More of a backward bend, opening the psoas. breathe. And we bring the hands down. Walk the foot forward. Exhale as you extend the leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. Hold the extension. Breathing. So I'm trying to keep the kneecap pointing towards the ceiling, the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. If you can get that leg straight, that would be good. And as I say, if you can't, you want to keep the hands supported, otherwise you're going to lose your balance. So if you can't touch the ground with the hands, maybe a couple of blocks would help. And then we come back into the lunge. Hands either side of the front foot. We're in plank. We bring the whole body forward, trying to turn the hands outward as the inner elbows point forward. Whole body comes forward. We try Chaturanga into up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we bring the knees down. So Chaturanga, be careful with Chaturanga if you've got shoulder issues. Be extra careful. Chaturanga, a lot of pressure on the shoulders, so if you have any shoulder concerns, skip Chaturanga, just bring the chin, chest towards the ground and just do an easy cobra. Sit on the heels. So what we're going to do next is we bring the hands behind us, so the fingers are lined up with the toes and they're pointing towards the knees. Fingers are pointing towards the knees, and then we just really open the chest. It's a little bit like Camel. Head goes back carefully. And then if you want, you can bring those hips up and breathe. And then we slowly come back down and we transition into child's pose. We come back up. So the camel prep, we do camel quite often. I keep the toes tucked so the heels are high, so it's more easy to reach the heels. But before we do the full camel, we're just doing the prep. So the back is supported. So I'm just bringing my hands onto the lower back. I want to try and keep the hips over the knees, and then I'm trying to lean backward. So the idea is the hands are supporting the back and they're keeping length in the lower back so it's nicely protected. And then leaning back, next I engage the glutes and carefully take the head back and breathe. And then we slowly come up. And typically after camel, it's good to go into child's pose. And then we come back up. Camel, full camel. Now, if you struggle bringing the hands to the heels, or if the hands are on the heels and the hips are back like this, I would just do a supported camel pose. Just do the same one as we did before. But if you're okay with getting into full camel, we bring one arm up, we reach for one heel, we bring the other arm up, reaching for the other heel. I then shift the hips forward, opening the chest, engaging the glutes, head goes back carefully, and you're breathing. Take about 3 breaths. As you come out, head stays back. You bring one arm up. You bring the other arm up with the head. And then you rest in child's pose. So that's typically the way most people come into Camel. I did some workshop a few years ago where I was showing a different way to come into Camel, which I actually prefer. So you can try it if you want. If you don't like this way, you can just do, one arm at a time. But for this way to come into Camel, I'm sitting on the heels. I bring the hands onto the heels, and it's a little bit like the cat-cow movement, is that you start off with the back rounded, and you're engaging in the core, and then you start lifting the hips up with the chin tucked. And it's like a wave-like motion as you come into Camel, opening the chest, and you breathe. And you take a couple of breaths in Camel, and you come out the way you came in, so the head is back, you start to engage the glutes, and you unwind, rounding the back, tucking the chin, bringing the heels back down, and then you're in child's pose. I actually prefer coming into Camel that way, but it depends on you and how open the hips are and the shoulders. But as I say, if it's a challenge, just do the supported Camel. Next, we're going to do bridge, and some of us are just going to hang out in bridge, maybe with a block, doing supported bridge, and some of us are going to go into the wheel pose. Wheel, I think, is the ultimate back bend. But let's start off in bridge. Legs, feet parallel, there's space between the legs, so the legs are like railway tracks. You inhale by pushing the lower back into the ground and lifting the hips up. So we're in bridge, remember we keep the gaze towards the ceiling at all times. Do not gaze from side to side. Interlace the hands and you walk the shoulders nice and close, the arms closer. We're trying to get space underneath the neck. Bridge is good, you can hang out in bridge. Try not to let the knees splay, so you're working the legs. And again, you can try pulling the feet, not moving the feet, but you're trying to pull them towards you. Okay, choices. You can hang out here in bridge. You can go into a restorative bridge by sliding the block, probably half height underneath the sacrum, or you can transition into the wheel pose by bringing the hands towards the shoulders. I like to have the hands pointing out slightly so the elbows are in. You don't want the elbows, the arms to splay outward. Pop onto your head. Come onto your toes, and then just pop up into wheel pose. I'm going to keep on the toes for now. It lessens any stress on the back, and usually the first time I do the wheel, I like to come onto the toes. I'm working hard to keep my knees closer so they don't splay out, and when you come out, you're really trying to keep the elbows in, and really you must tuck the chin before you land so you don't crunch up the neck. Then you come out. Wheel, exhilarating pose. Really nice back bend. It's opening the whole front body. It's working, it's strengthening. You're going to feel those legs working in it. So the setup is always like wheel, where you're pulling the feet in. You don't have to go into sorry, the setup is like it is in bridge. You don't have to go into bridge before wheel, but the setup is the same. So this time I'm just going to bring my hands either side of the shoulders, trying to keep the elbows in. I'm going to walk the feet in a little bit closer. You don't have to pop onto your head first, you can pop all the way up. But I usually just pop onto the top of my head so I can then walk the hands in a little bit closer. And then I pop up. And this time I'm going to try and bring the heels down. Since my body's a little bit more open and my back seems okay with this, there's no discomfort in my back. If there is any discomfort in your back while you're doing this, come on, bring the heels up. Come out of the pose. If you're okay with this, you try and then straighten the arms. Head is totally relaxed. You're breathing. Now when I come out of the wheel, I do lift my heels up. I tuck my chin and I slowly come down. And relax for a little bit. And then I always like to bring the knees in. So wherever you're at, if you're in the restorative bridge, come out of bridge, hug the knees, just rock from side to side a few times. And then after backward bends, twists are good, so we're going to work our way into a seated twist. So rock yourself up or just lean over to one side. Let's lean over to one side and come up. It's less stressful way to lean over to your side and come up. You're not using much effort to do that, so it's easier on the body to do that way rather than rocking yourself up. From a seated position, pull the left foot in and take the right foot inside or outside the leg. Let's do a seated twist. We're hugging the knee or we're using the arm as a leverage. Inhale as you get taller and taller. Exhale into that twist. You're trying to keep both shoulders soft. So you don't want to, if you find that the shoulders hunching up towards the ears, try and relax it or just hug the leg. Hold it for 3 or 4 breaths. Looking behind you. Inhale, we unwind. We switch legs. Hugging the knee, or bring the arm outside the leg. Taking a twist on the other side. Breathe. Unwind. Bring the soles of the feet together. Hold on to the feet. If your knees are high, your back is rounded, you probably want to sit on the block. Rock from side to side as you're rocking. You're trying to get a little bit closer to the heels. A little bit of rocking, become still. I use quite a lot of arm strength. I'm trying to get the back neutral, and then I'm trying to encourage the knees towards the ground. Eventually the knees are going to come all the way down and you're breathing. Trikanasana, butterfly pose. We release. Extend the left leg forward. Pull the right foot in. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, we do a gentle forward bend. Just rock a little bit. You can use a strap, you can have the hands on the foot, you can have the hands on the shin, wherever you're at. Try not to let the back round too much. If you feel anything in the back, just a gentle stretch in the back is all you should feel. If it feels too much, come up. we switch, extend the other leg forward. And sometimes I'll just grab all that extra cushioning underneath the sit bones just to make a little bit of extra room. And I'll bring my left, so if your right leg is forward, I reach it to the outside of that foot with my other hand, just so I can add a little bit of a twist first before I fold forward. And as I fold forward, I bring the arms up, I try and get length before I come forward. As I say, you can use the strap, hands can be on the foot or the shin. Just do whatever is right for you. And then we come up. Okay, one more forward bend and then we'll work our way into Shavasana. So we come into Dandasana, which is staff pose, a seated pose. We inhale the arms up, looking up, reach up, and exhale we fold forward. Again, we can use a strap. Or we hold on to the feet. I'll do a little bit of rocking from side to side. I come back up slightly and I'm trying to bring my hips a little bit more forward, trying to keep the back neutral. And then I hinge forward. Again, you can just stay up with the hands on the shins if you'd prefer. And breathe. And then we come back up. We come onto our backs on the mat and take a full body stretch. Reaching with the arms, reaching with the legs. Trying to get a little bit of traction here. Walk the feet in, feet wider than hips. Just take the knees from side to side 2 or 3 times. And then another full body stretch. And then into Shavasana. Bringing the arms either side of you, palms face up. Eyes closed. Totally relax. Just letting yourself sink into the ground here. Maybe moisten the lips. Relaxing the whole body. Let yourself get heavy. So start to take deeper breaths. And then stretch the hands out as much as you can. And relax the hands. Then stretch out the toes. And relax. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Become still. Walk the feet in. And with the eyes closed, just roll over to your side and take 2 or 3 breaths. And then gently push yourself into a seated position. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale as they come up. Exhale down. Inhale. And then bring the hands to the forehead. Namaste.